Got chariots.
Hold on, Mayor. We're ready. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Charities.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Very good. All right, we'll call to order the regular Heath City Council meeting, May 12th, 2026, at 6:30 p.m. If you'd all rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts for the blessing of our community in the beautiful city of Heath, Texas. Thank you for the families who call this city home, for the friendship that strengthens us, and for the opportunities that we have to live, work, worship, and serve together. Lord, we ask for your hand for protection over our city. Watch over our neighborhoods, our schools, our churches, our first responders, and every person who travels our roads each day. Grant wisdom, integrity, and compassion to our mayor, council members, civic leaders, educators, and all who carry the responsibility for the future of this community. Help them lead with humility, courage, and a genuine desire to serve others as well. Lord, we ask that you bless our military, whose sacrifice provides the blanket of freedom that we sleep under each night. Please bless their families who sacrifice their loved ones' absence so that they can serve our country and each of us. Father, let Heath continue to be the place where people feel safe, welcomed, and valued. May this city reflect honesty, service, faith, and love in all that we do. Guide us to build not only a stronger community, but a more caring and compassionate one. We place our city into your hands and trust you for its future. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. God bless Texas.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. All right, at this time, we are going to move into our agenda item number 2. This is our general election. So I am going to hand it over to Ms. Norma. We were uniquely blessed this last election, and it looks as though Councilman Dodson, Councilman Moorman, and myself get to take the oath of office, and we did not have to do any campaigning. So those of you in the audience, I'm sure you're very thankful for that. So at this time, I will hand it over to Norma, and we'll have place 3. Councilman Moorman, if you'd like to go. And his family, if you guys would like to come behind him as he takes the oath.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, raise your right hand. All right, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, please repeat after me. I, Ryan Daniel Moorman,
I, Ryan Daniel Moorman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of council member
the duty of office of council member
of the city of, on the City Council of Heath, Texas,
on the City Council of Heath, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. No love? No love? Bring it in.
All right, outstanding. At this time, we will have Councilman Dodson. the Honorable Commissioner, past mayor, doer of all things.
It's my great honor to be here. Warren? Okay, repeat after me, please. I, Scott Allen Dodson,
I, Scott Allen Dodson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of council member of the City Council of Heath, Texas,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the city council for the state or for the city of Heath, Texas. Okay, thank you.
and will to the best of my ability
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United
and
States
of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Well, out of all these important people in this city, the mayor chose me.
In her last year of service. And I've also said she's my below.
Okay, repeat after me, please. I, Jeremiah Trent McClure,
I, Jeremiah Trent McClure,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully
the
execute
duties of the office
the duties of the office
of mayor of the City Council of Heath, Texas,
of Mayor of the City Council of Heath, Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect,
preserve and protect,
defend the Constitution
defend the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and this state,
and this state.
so help me God.
Okay. What an honor it is. What an honor it is. And thank you to the families and the friends that are here tonight to show that same honor to these positions and all of the countless hours that are dedicated in free service to the city for the greater good. And thank you, council. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 3. That is our public comment section. Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Mayor, we have Stacy Stewart here to speak tonight.
All right, Ms. Stewart. How are you, sir?
Mayor, I'm taking over for Stacy.
Very well. That's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I was here last council meeting, and I'm here not to be a Debbie Downer, but to complain about 522 Hubbard Drive and the work that's being done. It's a 5-acre lot. There's 9 buildings now. We do believe that there are people living in shacks there. I have no proof of that, but it sure does look like it. And I was here last month, and respectfully, I have my phone number. I gave the city manager the information. No one has contacted me. And it's as simple as that. I would appreciate, some action, some response back from someone from the city council, someone, I did, to help us resolve this, being good neighbors, okay?
Very good.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
And I'll just say, Mayor, council members, my apologies for us not having contacted you, but we are actively working this case, and we will reach out to you and let you know what's going on.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Very well. And just so you know, I too have been by the property. I too have been in meetings discussing the property, so you will be contacted appropriately. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Alexander.
Mr. Mayor, we have Brian Bass here to speak.
All right, Mr. Bass.
Yes, thank you. Julie at the Water Department said that I could propose or appeal to the City Council. On my March bill, I recognized that it was extremely high. I had thought it was because of the increase in rates. I had gone back in my past bills before that and saw that the water usage was way higher than it had normally been. So I contacted the Utilities Department. They sent a crew out, and they said I definitely had a leak somewhere, suggested it was in my irrigation system. Contacted the irrigation contractor. He came, found the leak, repaired it. I presented the bill, my repair bill, to the Utilities Department, and they took it under consideration, and they said, all right, we'll give you a little break on the water. The issue is that this occurred during the period of time when the sewer rates are charged. The sewer rates are charged over a 4-month period with the lowest over November, December, January, and February. Excuse me. My past 3 years, those rates were 3,000, 3.67, and 3.67. This year, it is 26. My sewer rate has gone from $83.50 from last year to this year, $269.36. The leak happened. I'm all for paying for the water that was used. That's on me. If this had happened at another time of year, nothing would have happened to the sewer rate. So I appeal to the City Council if there's some consideration that could be done to the sewer rate. I have copies of my bills for the last 4 years over that period of time, including a copy of the repair bill.
Thank you.
Very
Mayor, I can.
Very well. That would be an administrative,
right.
executive branch
Yep.
capability.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you very much. Mr. Alexander?
Mr. Mayor, that's all we have tonight.
Very well. All right. And I trust that the winter averaging will be taken into consideration, Mr. Alexander?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, we can address that.
Very well. Thank you, sir. Okay. At this time, we'll move into agenda item number 4. This will be city manager comments, and then we'll move to council comments.
I have no comments, Mr.
No
Mayor.
comments at this time. We will now open this up to council. I know we've got some council members that did some wonderful travels on our behalf and did some great connections with a great group. So at this time, I'll open the floor to allow council to give any comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem Dodson and I wanted to take just a moment to share a very special experience from our recent North Texas Commission fly-in. While we were there representing the city of Heath, we had the unexpected opportunity to visit the CIA headquarters and meet with Director John Ratcliffe. What really stood out wasn't just the setting of being in the CIA, it was his genuine warmth and his clear affection for Heath. He spoke about our city with real pride, and it was obvious that Heath still means a great deal to him. He also shared something personal with us. It was his gavel from his time as mayor, which it was a really powerful reminder of where many of us in public service began, right here in local government. As our meeting concluded, the director expressed his deep admiration for the work being done to move Heath forward. He entrusted us with a very special task to bring back and present his official challenge coin to the mayor and each member of this council. It was truly an honor for us to represent the city of Heath.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Horn. What a blessing, and those that don't know, the gentleman is on the wall, was a great mayor, and we get to stand on the shoulder of these giants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mormon?
What an honor it is.
Mr. Myers? Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Mr. Alexander, you cannot have mine. Will be his first request.
So just to add on a little bit, we had the distinct honor of not only meeting with Director Ratcliffe, but we also had an opportunity to meet with the Secretary of War and their staff in the war room in the Pentagon, and to go past the 9 gates of hell that you have to go through in order to get scrubbed through security and everything else to sort of get in there was pretty amazing. And, we did so partly for my company, but then partly for warfighters. And Cindy's kids are serving in the military as well. And just those visits alone opened up every congressional office door of all 14 congressional representatives in the state of Texas. Once they found out we were with the Secretary of War, once they found out we were with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the doors just opened up. And their questions to us were really kind of around the point of, what can we do to help you all in North Texas? And as we were there with people from different cities, from Capel and Frisco and Fate and Allen and McKinney and, Collin County and, even Rowlett, one of the things that became clear was that there are a lot of federal dollars that are available that a lot of these other cities are getting. And for those of you in business, it's kind of like non-dilutive capital. And when you can get non-dilutive capital that isn't a part of your operating budget, then you can use your operating budget for other things. So the mayor has charged both Councilwoman Horn and I with taking a look at perhaps some of these opportunities from now the relationships that we've built, so that we might be able to secure some funding or at least some pathways for us here in Heath, in Rockwall County, and for North Texas. So Mr. Mayor, thank you for that charge. We'll pick that up, and we'll go ahead and pass down a trip report that we prepared here as well for the rest of council, just so that you can have a flavor and an opportunity to look through who we met with, what some of the topics of conversations were, and what some of the doors that were opening as a result of our visit there.
Very good.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Yeah, very, very proud, as we talked about all the different grant programs and the lack of connectivity of little old Heath. I am very proud to have you guys represent us and really working in a big way to make sure that we have a seat at the table with larger cities and making sure that our voice is being heard. So very proud of the work that you're doing and look forward to more to come, right? Very good. All right. Any other councilmen have any comments? None at this time. Very well. At this time, we'll move into our consent agenda. 5.A, action regarding the minutes of the April 28th, 2026 regular meeting. I believe everyone's had time to review the consent agenda, so the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Very well. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Mormon. The motion moves. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving into agenda item number 6. These are items for individual consideration. 6.A, discussion and action regarding the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem. Norma, before I pass it off to you, so just as a quick reminder, for anybody in the audience and for this council, it is in our charter that every year we would re-review and reappoint a Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem is the individual in which is tasked with, if the mayor is in absence of an event and or a meeting, they step in their stead and are in that mayor's seat. So, Ms. Norma.
I could not have said that any better. But yes, it is a one-year term, and tonight we need to either appoint someone new or we can reappoint the Mayor Pro Tem that we already have.
All right, very good. At this time, the chair will open the floor to allow any discussion or any nominations.
Mr. Mayor, I have a motion.
Councilman Obi.
I move to reappoint Mayor Pro Tem Scott Dodson.
All right, we have a motion for reappointment. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilwoman Horn. Any other discussion on that? No secondary nominations? All right. The motion moves. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Councilman Dodson, for all your dedication. In fact, he came in pretty clutch. I was triple booked, and I had to call in the reserves and say, hey, I need you. And he is there, and he has been there anytime I've needed. Thank you, Councilman
I was
Dodson.
with the Lord that day, Mr. Mayor.
Lots of prayer.
Lots
of prayer.
There are worse places to be.
That's right. Lots of prayer. All right, very good. Moving into agenda item 6.b, this is discussion and action regarding parks and recreation programming and reservation policies, procedures, and fees for the City of Heath Park amenities. Ms. Gordon.
Yes, all right. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. The item before you is regarding our Parks and Recreation programming and adjustments to our fee schedule for park rentals and amenities. This particular item has kind of been in the making over the past couple of months, and so back in March, the Park Board reviewed some of our proposed rate adjustments and policies. They took that into consideration and actually created a subcommittee to do so. That subcommittee met twice, brought back a recommendation to the Park Board in April, and then the Park Board made some adjustments, and what you see today is the Park Board's recommendation on the utilization of park amenities as well as the fee adjustments. So just to do a slight refresh of kind of what we have in terms of park amenities, we currently have 1 gazebo, 3 pavilions, 7 soccer fields, 1 baseball/softball field, 8 brand new pickleball courts. That's a new amenity that has been added with the construction of Town Center Park, as well as 2 half basketball courts, an amphitheater, another new item. You have 4 areas that have playgrounds or playground equipment. You have 1 boat dock, and then you have a number of trails and nature trails throughout the city. So we're really talking about standardized fees, deposits, policies, and programming here this evening. These are all brought to help manage demand and scheduling of our park assets and amenities. The fees associated with the use go to offset potential maintenance and operational costs. It ensures that we're also protecting our public assets with things such as deposits and rental procedures. And it really goes to ensure that we have equitable access and primary access for our residents here within the city. Historically, we have handled pavilion rentals and our community room rental in-house just through phone calls, emails, and online forms. And then the YMCA has historically handled scheduling of the ball fields and soccer fields. You do have a few ordinances available that speak directly to City Council's ability to approve and do permitting and fees for certain park facilities, the use of those facilities, and it talks about that process. So here our ordinance talks to the ability to limit park amenities or approve park amenities for events, fields, pavilions, really relating to tournaments, camps, or organized sporting events to ensure that there's equitable access, again, for residents and assess appropriate fees for those events. You also have the ability to take a look at your fees on an as-needed basis. Those fees will come by recommendation from the Park Board, and then they come to you for approval. Different fees may be established for residents and non-residents. Again, you're securing primary access and exclusivity to your amenities for residents when you do a different fee for residents and non-residents as well. I wanted to touch a little bit again on our current reservation system. We do not have anything other than a simple fill out a form. We'll call you, let you know if it's available. We'll take your deposit, and that's how it is reserved. So a very manual process right now. We are looking, as we look at going about our reservations a little bit differently, of getting a recreation software system that will handle all your reservations, allow residents to see in real time the availability of courts, the availability of fields, pavilions, etc., and really plan out their events in the future, able to do online payments, give back deposits, and really make it a more streamlined process instead of the manual process that we have here today. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that with a software system, you're really getting the ability to do reporting and see historical data, which is something that we do not have at the moment. So as we look to talk about fees and the policies regarding reservation, we wanted to break down our amenities into a few different categories. So your public good amenities, those are your amenities such as playgrounds, walking trails, green spaces, some sports courts that are really free and open to the public. You're really not going to get any sort of cost recovery on those items. Those are just there for the public to enjoy. With exclusive use amenities, those are sports fields, pickleball courts, pavilions, gazebos, things like that. You are able to charge a fee, and most communities do charge a fee because you're reserving that exclusive space for your event, for your play, where nobody else can use that amenity at that same time. And then you have really your revenue generating amenities such as an amphitheater and community room, which you're going to find those are your higher generating revenue sources, and those are again exclusive use amenities, but those really do serve the purpose to generate additional income as well as provide spaces for our residents and potentially non-residents to utilize. So the park board has come up with a target of 10% of cost recovery. So that would mean we're really looking to generate at least 10% of the total operating cost for the parks department. Again, there is a wide range of setting that target rate, and as we initially look to really standardize our processes and look at fees without that historical data, it's pretty limited. So their target was set at 10% of the park's annual budget. For this first year, we'll see how that goes, and then they have the option to reevaluate as the process unfolds. I wanted to give you a few cost recovery examples of other communities that we would consider peer communities or benchmark communities. And you can see, again, widely ranges based on their specific community and how they view recreational amenities. So you've got anywhere between 10% and 70% revenue cost recovery there. So in your package, you've been provided with a updated revised fee schedule in the form of an ordinance, as well as a matrix that has provided you with our current rates, as well as our proposed rates, as well as our peer communities and communities nearby to see how we are marketing ourselves against those communities and whether we're in line with the market or slightly off. And so we developed our proposed fees based on kind of what our peer communities are doing, who would like to benchmark to, and kind of industry best standard, while also not necessarily trying to outmarket ourselves for the area. To know, sports leagues and tournaments will be handled on a one-off negotiated price based on the number of games and the preparation needed for that specific event. And that's how typically sports leagues and tournaments are handled in other communities as well. The prices that you see here really reflect that individual reservation. So reserving for a family or one individual needing a rental space. So just to kind of give you an idea, And I say this broadly because we do not have the historical data to say how many rentals we've done. Of course, we have new items such as pickleball courts. Some of these items haven't been rented out or marketed before. And so these are just very high-level assumptions, but to kind of give you a potential idea, this is potentially the cost that we could make based on, kind of how our peer communities, their rental rates, and looking at a blended assumption of non-resident and resident rates and potential usage of our facilities. So you've got approximately $73,000, almost $74,000 there. Again, that's high-level estimate. We just won't know until we start opening this up and really promoting our rentals. You have also in your packet a reservation policy. This is to give residents priority access to your park amenities. So Park Board did recommend a blend of resident and non-resident usage. The non-resident usage would be at a higher rate and would come at a smaller window of reservation time. So we're opening up the reservation time to residents so that they can get priority access to our amenities such as pavilions, your pickleball courts, items like that. So you will notice your pickleball courts and your basketball courts. Those right now are listed as first come, first serve, with the ability for you to buy a pass that would allow you to make one hour reservation per day for our pickleball courts. That is how some communities handle that, as well as the ability to pay a one-time fee to make a reservation per day. So again, really implementation of updated rates and procedures is anticipated to offset a portion of operational and maintenance costs, that 10% target that we're looking at, really helping reduce the general fund subsidy for rental-related expenses and maintenance, and hoping eventually to support long-term capital improvements to park facilities. So at this time, we do recommend approval of the proposed park amenity policies, procedures, rental rates, and ordinance, amending the fee schedule, and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Gordon. And I did have the pleasure of listening to the Park Board. I know that subcommittee did a whole lot of work, so it was really good to see. And then I also know this is kind of a wag, because we just don't have any empirical data. So this is a document in which can continue to come back and be re-reviewed and changed at any time. So just for as we consider this, that was kind of my first question is, hey, this is not an annualized thing. This is a thing that can kind of be adapting as we get feedback, right? As any business probably would, right?
Yes, the Park Board did want to relook at things at the 3, 6, and 9 month period, just to see kind of how we were tracking and potentially make other considerations.
Great. Okay. At this time, the chair has opened the floor. If you have any questions for staff.
Chelsea, I have a question.
Yes.
Was it discussed how the pickleball court rental would be enforced? So you reserve it and then you go there, somebody's on the court. How does that work?
Yes, great question. That was discussed at length. Right now, and how most communities are, we don't have park rangers, which means we don't have, unfortunately, unless you would like to authorize some. Right. Yeah. So most communities kind of operate on a, kind of a self-policing model. And I did see this working in other communities where we had a reservation process. And most of the time, I will say, actually, I never received one phone call before saying, hey, somebody's on my court and won't get off. So how it will play out is pickleball courts are scheduled as first come, first serve unless you make your reservation. And your reservation will have information that you can print out, like a confirmation page that you can bring with you or show on your mobile device to anybody that's there on the court. And then it'll also have our contact number. So if there is any, conflict at all, which hopefully there won't be, but you can give us a call, and if it's during working hours, we can be able to go out there and facilitate. Yes.
So would we be able to put a sign on that pickleball court?
Yes.
So that whoever's coming
Yes.
isn't surprised by someone with a?
Yes, absolutely. We'll have signs made. It's actually a part of the project itself. Signs will be made for each field and court to describe the rules, as well as if it's by reservation only or first come, first serve, but reserved, and I'll have a QR code that will link directly to the reservation platform.
So then they would scan the QR if they wanted, and
Yeah.
then see if it's reserved before
Yeah,
they
they
started playing?
can do that, or if nobody's out there on the court, feel free to hop on the court, play. Just know that you're kind of taking the chance that it could be reserved, and so if someone does come and you haven't checked, you might be asked to leave the court.
No way we could be a little more proactive so that they would know? I mean, I don't know how often they'll be reserved, but
Yeah, so especially with pickleball courts, you can reserve up until, the time that you need it, essentially. So we can look at ways to potentially, I've heard of things as printing off schedules, but really with pickleball courts, somebody could look and then book it, right then and there.
I think it'll be a work in progress once they get the software in forward motion and seeing. I mean, you guys have had some exposure to the software y'all are considering?
Yes, so I have not directly worked with the software we're considering, but it was an option that I was looking to move to. But it will handle everything. They have interactive, essentially calendar systems right there, then and there. And you can pull it up and see, okay, court A is booked, but court B is free.
Okay, so it does
Yeah.
give exposure if you scan the QR code or if you
Yes.
go access it through the website and show you
can
what
see
courts are
real time,
available
yes.
in real time?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is that what you're talking about, Councilman?
yes.
Yeah, that sounds great. I have a question. It
Yeah.
looks like a lot of due diligence has been done to compare what other cities are doing
Yes.
with their city parks, and I commend the Parks Board for going through that kind of due diligence. Is there, as far as operating procedures, has that been modeled by a previous city? Is that specifically, like, we're looking into what they're doing in Highland Park or South Lake?
Yes, so, I'll kind of go back here. So the fees were, as well as you can kind of see the hours as well. So we looked at, what does a reservation get you for a pickleball court? Is it common to have an hour, or is it common to have an hour and a half? So those things were looked at, as well as your, where's my flag here? The reservation policies, those were compared to other communities as well.
So is there a particular community that we're like, we like the way they've done it, they've had a lot of experience, they've kind of worked out some
I think
things?
it was, for me,
Just
it was a combination of everything, and then in talking with our park board subcommittee, they really liked, especially the residents having the priority time slots to
Sure.
book, and so we went through kind of those recommendations with them, and
Okay. Well, it looks really well studied,
Good.
and I was impressed with just the due diligence that's been done, so I'm impressed.
Very good.
I have a question.
Councilman Mormon?
The recommended approval here, that locks in all of these fees?
Yeah.
Because I haven't gone through all of the math, but it looked like on the pickle court rental, that the 4-hour, 4-quart was not a special rate, right? It wasn't relative to scale. So I was just, can we fully double check the group rates? Because it's just simple math. If 1 quart is $10, it didn't add up. Maybe it was just me trying to do it on the fly, but it didn't add up as a special.
Right, and so those were recommended. We had not studied, and I say we as staff had not studied the special event rate. That was something that was discussed at the last park board meeting as just kind of an add-on, that we should probably have that because there might be birthday parties and things like that. So it was really more of a high-level number that the park board wanted to go with, but also to create, we understand that if you're having an event out there, there's going to be maybe some additional trash cleanup, things like that, that wouldn't necessarily factor into 1 simple hour of play.
Right, no, I like the concept. I was just merely discussing the math, is saying that I would not do the special rate because it's cheaper just to do it by the hour.
Okay.
I can speak to, so I did get to listen to them deliberate over this. So it was specifically for like a packaged birthday party, to where if it's just you and I, we're gonna be doing the $10 an hour just to go out there and play pickleball. It's one of those to where, hey, I'm gonna have 20 kids. I want to get this 4-quart package thing.
Or leagues.
It was very
League
much
play.
similar to the standard service, I think, rental.
Oh,
Yeah, but the deliberation was predominantly around birthday parties, but yes, for league play and other things. But that's why there's not like a discount, because I similarly had.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was just thinking myself, personally, I don't want the special.
Yeah.
I'll just do the hourly rate,
Yeah.
but I get it now.
Just lock it in.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you turn it back to that rate schedule real quick? Okay, thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Council?
Yes, sir.
Councilman Romney?
So it's estimating a lot of moving unknowns with the fee schedule to what it might recoup over the year, but the $34,000 estimate, how close is that to the 10%? Or is that another unknown? On the other side, what it's going to cost us to run the parks? How close does that come to our goal?
It's a great question. So right now I think the park department operating budget is around 600 something thousand. I have it in the packet there. And so that would be recovering just over that. Now that is for this current fiscal year. We have not added the proposed budget, which is being worked on right now, which will be, it'll be an increase.
An increase, yes.
Yes, it will be an increase. And so I don't have that number for you right now.
We have
but
a budget.
Yes.
So right now, our budget's 631,000 parks,
Yeah.
right? So if it goes up, then we're already behind at 30,000, 10% would be 60,000, right? So,
Yep.
Yeah, so we're not
Okay.
quite hitting the target yet. But again, this is we just don't know. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
have
these are
any
all
data.
unknowns.
We can model it and just try to come up with it, but it would be a complete guess at this point.
It's not even a swag.
Yep.
It's just a wag.
So we talked about software that we're looking at.
Yes.
Do we know what that software package is going to cost us? And
Yeah.
are there 25% annual? Or what are those kinds of?
So no, the rates that we've looked at were, I think it was just under $10,000 for initial setup cost, and then I think it was close to $5,000 annually for that software.
And that sort of brings me to my next question, which is really, it's a very brief mention that the field rentals were previously handled by the YMCA.
Yes.
So we're going to look at some software so that we can pay full-time employees to work that software to do what we were having done effectively for free with that relationship. So are there any considerations to continuing to use the Y? And I know intimately that they can handle the amphitheaters as well as the food courts and everything else, and they already have this software probably a lot more robust than what we'd be buying for a $10,000 package, but
Right, so there was mention of the why, and in previous conversations that I've had with our staff here, and understanding how that worked out in the past, it just never worked out the way that it was supposed to. And again, I can't speak to hearing that, just, I wasn't here, but there was a lag in payments, and as I reviewed the contract, we were actually set to pay them close to $20,000 annually to manage the fields. Now, I didn't see anywhere in the contract where it talked about them reimbursing us based off of the usage for the fields themselves and what they were bringing off of leagues, and so that's definitely something we can consider. I do think with the implementation of the software, that takes a lot of the scheduling pressure off of staff, because it's really done all online and looked at, and from a staff perspective, we just review what's coming in and then it's set. But we're also able to collect any fees up front so that we can ensure that we're getting the proper payment for usage of the facility.
is my understanding, I'm not intimately familiar with it, but when the Y was doing it, and I guess before they got shut down, I guess it was COVID era then,
Yes.
construction, but
Yep.
that the Y had been trying to pay the city for a good while, but we couldn't receive, because we couldn't correlate what they owed us, and
Right.
so I feel like that's more of an us problem.
And so,
than a them problem.
and definitely something that we can look at again. I've heard that, and then I've heard that they've never given, because what it was is that they were supposed to submit how many games that were played, and then we were supposed to tell them and basically itemize that, and then send them an invoice so that they could pay off of that. And from what I've heard, it's been on both ends. So definitely a relationship and a partnership that I would hope to continue either in that way, and we can certainly look into that, as well as allowing them to be, the provider of a league that would come and do rentals here too. It would just be handled through our end, and we would allow them to use fields for their league play and things like that.
Right, I definitely would like to see a relationship with the Y.
Absolutely.
They're a microcosm in the community, I believe, and
Yeah,
it should represent the city well, so
absolutely.
just love to consider that moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
You mentioned that this would be reassessed 3, 6, 9.
Yeah.
Do we have like a date for the first reassessment?
There's no date right now. I can kind of map that out and bring that to you. But we were probably going to start after July. And that also too will depend, because we're opening the park in July, so that's probably when we would start. But that's also when it gets real hot outside, and
Yeah.
there's no necessarily league
Right.
play in some assets, so that's why they wanted to do it at that 3, 6, 9 month. So you can capture all of the seasons, because we'll start booking, league play and looking at things like that for the sports fields for the fall and the summer. That's when they start doing that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, very well. The chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the Parks and Recreation Programming Reservation Policies, Procedures, and Fees for the City of Heath Park amenities, and to approve the ordinance amending the FY 2026 fee schedule.
Very good. We have a motion on the floor stated by Councilwoman Thorogood. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilwoman Horn. Any further discussion? If not, motion moves. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving into agenda item 6.c, discussion and action regarding the use of the existing parks and trail funds for a mayor's ball dedicated to raising funds for PATH. Ms. Gordon.
Yes, all right. So this was an item, again, brought up at the March Park Board meeting, was the consideration of having a mayor's ball. And this was looked at as a way to raise potential additional funds for PATH, and really kind of celebrate what PATH does for the community and how, we can kind of gain momentum when it comes to donations and fundraising. And so that was discussed as an initial concept at the March Park Board meeting. In April, they came back with a kind of initial budget that was provided to you in your packets. That requested seed money. It was $22,500 to put towards a mayor's ball. Currently, PATH has about $34,000 within its fund after the purchase of the outfield fence that is to be recovered over a period of 5 years from donations. And so really, the park board was looking at how we can come up with the initial funds to throw this mayor's ball event, and if that would be something that the city council was interested in. So just, they all approved this item as a recommended item. They would like to see this mayor's ball move forward, but that is at their request. To note, they are realizing that this will be a volunteer-based event, so really gathering support from the community to plan all aspects of the mayor's ball. So,
And maybe you could describe to us what this is for and
Yeah.
what the plans are
Yeah.
that they deliberated on.
Yeah, so absolutely. So this event would be in February, estimated timeframe February 2027 is what they're looking at to be held at Hidden Creek. It would be a sit-down ball, with dancing, various tables, things like that. You could purchase tables, fundraising raffles, things of that nature would be held. And then all of the funding that in proceeds that are received off of that would go back directly into the PATH fund to help support projects that aren't necessarily thought of right now. It would help fund potential trail connections as well as park improvements at our other park system.
Okay. And so the idea is that they would use this event, aside from the PATH doing their solicitations, this would be like an annual event to try to raise the donors for the donor garden and
Yes.
other projects.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Is the PATH a 501c3, or are there any components within the city that has access to?
They're not.
The PATH is not? I want to do raffles. I want to do raffles, but only a 501c3 can, so.
Okay, good.
Okay. At this time, the chair will open the floor for questions of staff.
Is there any estimate of what the admission to this mayor's ball might be?
There isn't at this time frame. This is really just high-level preliminary concept planning.
All right, so you have some of the expenses and you do hope to have it be a
Yes.
good fundraiser.
I'd like to see it on February 14th if we could. I'd like a mayor councilman dance or something.
Chelsea,
Like a Valentine's Day gift to each other.
I love it.
That's your dance card.
I like it. I do know in deliberation, they did too also talk about honoring past mayors. We do have such
Yes, that's
notable
correct.
past mayors and don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the comment that was made was, we don't know if certain ones would be available to come, but how interesting it would be if any of them.
So it might be the
And there are a
Jeremiah
number
ball.
of them that are still living and thriving and doing well, and so throwing some honors around. I think he said an honorary mayor presentation, and then also he was talking about top volunteer,
Yes.
something along the lines of,
Right.
to exemplify volunteers within the city, other
Yes,
things like that.
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah, highlight.
I'm chopping it up. I'm trying to remember.
No, you're right. Also to highlight, the park board, the path committee, items like that, that really have done a lot to improve the quality of life here in the city.
Okay.
Chelsea, was there any discussion about kind of a goal for this? If our sunk cost is 23,000, what was proposed or imagined with regards to what the end result would be, hopefully?
Yeah, I believe there was an initial comment. I don't have that right.
I think 60,000.
That's what I was thinking.
Net of expenses?
Return, yeah.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly.
I think
He
so.
had
I
a
could've-
slide on it, I thought.
Yeah.
60 gross or 60 net?
Net. Yeah, I think they were hoping 80 to 90
Yeah.
top line revenue, I think. I'm stretching.
So my first impression of this was very positive, because I think what it does is it brings the community together and celebrates community pride in a way we just haven't had in our city. And I think that's one of the biggest the strongest feature of it as a community-wide interest event. And I would like to know, are there surrounding cities that have such a ball, and have we looked to those?
Great question. I have heard of other communities, but we have not dove into.
So we're not like patterning this into another city that has a successful fundraising tradition?
No, not at this moment, but if we look to move forward, we certainly would look at pricing and in comparison to pricing of our event, what their agenda for the evening looks like, things like that, to make it as successful as
Interesting.
possible.
Yeah, okay.
Chelsea, I have a couple questions.
Yes.
How much of this $34,000, was that money how much of that has been raised by the PATH committee to date? Is that the amount that has been raised, or is that money in there?
Existing. That's existing.
That's
funds.
existing?
Yes.
So this would completely come from existing funds. Have there been any funds raised to date by the PATH committee on their own, or is this like their fundraiser?
This would be their fundraiser. I know they're in conversation with multiple, donors. They do meet monthly to kind of look at donation plans and outreach. But nothing has come in to date except for the outfield fence. And so that would be, we see that number grow over the next 5 years with that contribution. That was a $20,000, I think it was just over $20,000 for that fence. And so that amount is, there was, I think, close to $50,000 that out of those agreements that would be paid back over the next 5 years.
Okay. So the goal is to raise $60,000. When you refer to venue deposit here for $5,000, is that the cost of the venue or just the initial?
These are just the initial costs that we would
Okay,
need
yeah.
to pay in advance, and then the remainder of the event would be paid out of the proceeds raised at the event.
I would love to see what the venue, I mean, to me, it takes a lot to run a ball, and we know that. I mean, they're very expensive. We need some sort of, in my opinion, if you can pass it on to the PATH committee, committed donors to this.
Okay.
Commitments to make sure that we're getting the money out that we're putting in. And maybe, it is the first year of an event like this. I love Jeremiah's explanation of it being an honoring the past mayors, and if we could get some special ones, that's awesome. I'd just like to see a little more detail on how much it's gonna cost.
Absolutely.
And where the commitments might come from, if we could.
Yeah, during their deliberation, they did talk about, well, one thing was, they didn't know if they would get support by the council.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to spend too much time.
Sure.
It's kind of like a rate sheet. We're going to pick a rate. You don't know if we're going to say, hey, that's a good idea to allow them the autonomy to go create a whole nother ball that's never happened before. But they did deliberate on, they would be selling tables.
Correct.
So that would be probably the equivalent of donor backing. So I do know that, and the chair did talk about their experience, and the balls that they've assisted with.
Okay.
And so I did have a high level of confidence in his level of knowledge that he was walking his board through and talking about, essentially, yeah, you can sell tickets to it, but really the big way to get this done is to kind of sell tables to corporate entities and or individuals that buy a table, so.
Sponsorship.
I didn't think like that, he kind of took it.
Sponsorships, tables,
And
in
that's what
addition
they
to
would-
that, tickets.
Yeah, and then he went on to talk about, like an auction, the way that you would go to these charity balls that we've all been to, where they do live auctions and other things, and they would use elements that they're currently planning to solicit, right? Like if you're gonna do the naming of the baseball field, or you're gonna do the naming of something else, they would use that in live auction.
Okay.
So, and that does create a dynamic way to generate that peer pressure to go, oh, you want your name on it? Oh, I'll bid over you, know. So anyways, I thought it was well done the way you described it, Council.
I'm definitely in favor of it, but I'd like to see a little more breakdown on it, okay, projected, okay, because I know Hidden Creek holds 300 people. Something like that, and then what the breakdown would be is what they're looking at as far as projected, how they're recouping their money, like, okay, what's the tables and sponsorships, on that. And of course, then you'd still have individual tickets, so.
There is a formula to this, and typically the sponsorships will cover the cost of the party.
Correct.
And then whatever you can get through the live auction items or whatever else you're selling, if they're silent auction items, then that would be the profit side. I could certainly see it making some money. You can't do it for 22.5. I mean, obviously, and I don't see it being done for 34. So we're going to Councilwoman Horn's statement, we're going to need some sponsorships up front just to get it going.
Yeah.
And I've seen too many really expensive parties that don't make any money. So there's
Exactly.
Yeah.
but. That's the danger, especially with a single event, leaning on the silent auction, or excuse me, the live auction items in particular, because you're only as good as the wallets in the seats.
Sure.
So, got to make sure we get a good attendance and
That's a great point.
people with big wallets. But
And a good headliner.
yeah,
A good
a
headliner.
good mayor headliner, right?
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
that.
No. Look at that wall, look at that wall.
All that said, I mean, without those numbers, we're going to hopefully double what's in the bank for the PAT program, which I think is a great thing, because you can't burn too much money and be in trouble. We need that number to get bigger. 34 is not enough to have in the bank. Can't get anything done with it, so.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're, thinking outside the box, trying to be creative.
That's what we've asked of them, and
Yeah.
that's what they're doing, so.
So, all right, if there's no further discussion, Councilman Dodson? Yes, sir.
Chelsea, is the EDC still contributing to PATH, or is that now
No.
sunset?
That is sunset.
Okay. Like has been mentioned, I'd like to see just a skeleton pro forma
Absolutely.
on this thing. And then probably even the bigger thing on top of that is who's gonna plan that thing. These are,
What kind of committee are you gonna have?
these are,
I will tell you
these are
that
absolute beasts.
he did make it clear to his board that it's us, meaning their board,
Yes.
that has to get a subcommittee that has to run it. So that, they did deliberate on that for a good minute.
me planning.
Yeah. Yes, that
No.
mayor is absolutely
Yeah.
correct. It would be a committee of the park board and then a subcommittee gathering volunteers. It will not be our special events committee, as they're tasked with other
Yeah.
items right now. And then also, we're just very lean on staff as well. So, they do recognize that, and in moving forward this recommendation, they were all on board to help out, so.
So the final piece I'd say, and Mitch has brought this up in a lot of the things that we're involved with on the NGO side, is that if you don't have a 501c3, you can't do a raffle. And raffles are the best ROI for anything that you're gonna have at an event like that, because you can sell a gajillion tickets on one item. So if there is a way to make that group or an element of that group or something a 501c3, it produces a significantly higher return.
Maybe we can ask our DPS association, or
Yeah.
maybe they could have,
maybe
maybe they could do a couple raffles that we could cost
Yeah,
share on,
I
or
guess the
profit share
topic
on.
of PATH being a 501c3 has not been brought up here in the past, I guess. But I will tell you, my experience is that people tend to prefer giving to 501c3s rather than giving to cities. They're just familiar with it.
Because you can deduct it from your federal taxes.
Well, and you can do it with cities too,
can't
but
with
it's just people are familiar with 501c3.
Yeah.
That's the more common avenue to make donations.
Right.
Yeah, so it's considered a gambling, because you're,
Yeah.
and, it's a chance that you're gonna get a lot more money back than you put in, and so they have a 3-year moratorium on it, so you have to be a good standing 501c3 for 3 years before you can have any raffles, and they're supposed to only do 4 years.
Even if we
So
tried to go pursue that, we
Yeah.
couldn't do that for 3 years.
you'd have to be in good standing for 3 years before you could have any raffles, and so it's pretty limiting. But to Councilman Dodson's point, it's about a 8 to 10x return, where silent auction items are usually about, you get about what the value is, and then live auctions are a crapshoot.
Okay, it's great feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
NGO.
Yeah. Okay, very good. If there are no further questions, Councilman Dodson, did you have any more?
No, sir.
Okay. At this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that existing parks and trail funds be used for a mayor's ball dedicated to raising funds for the PATH program.
Very good. We have a motion on the floor as stated. Do we have a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Myers. Any further discussion? The only point to that is that you've heard the council's will, right?
Yes, so,
Giving,
you additional-
We
yeah,
do.
let's
We'll
make
bring-
sure there's some additional feedback, even though it's not within the motion.
yes.
That's right. Heard we owe you
Yes.
a draft pro forma. go
Yeah,
back.
some performa and some collaboration, and obviously,
Yeah.
there's a lot of great brain trust that we need to utilize, right?
Yep.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the motion moves. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. All right, moving into agenda item 6.d, discussion and action regarding the facilities agreement between the City of Heath, Texas, and the Estates of Bristol Valley LLC and TM Bristol Valley LLC for the construction and reimbursement of a 10-foot wide trail along McDonald Road. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Thank you this evening. And just want to bring this back to you. I think you may be familiar with this. This was brought to you back in June of last year by the developer for the Estates of Bristol Valley and Bristol Valley Phase 1, where they came and they proposed to be able to use the park development fees in lieu of to build a trail. And that trail, as you can see, starts at the Estates of Bristol Valley. It's a meandering trail, goes through and makes a connection up here to Stoneleigh, a vital part of the trail plan that we have, and that was included also with the residential overlay map that was adopted in 2025 as well. Now, what we're bringing forward to you tonight, and apologies from staff and putting that on your desk this evening. I think you received an email of the facilities agreement shortly before the meeting. However, just want to let you know that staff is still continuing to work with the developers on this and refining the contract. Most of it's in place, just a few refinements that are here within this. In the packet, you'll have that as Exhibit A, what you just saw, as well as the opinion of probable cost. This was shown to you at the meeting in June as well. The total estimated cost to put in the trail will be $444,000 $500. However, when you take a look at the cost of the park fees that are associated with this, is $449,596.51. So that money will be deposited from by the developer, less $49,000, and that's something that you'll see in the contract, that they have already made some improvements here to the trail. Essentially, that's in the form of some engineering, preliminary surveying, some engineering drawing, TDLR review and inspection. So that comes to about $49,000. So the contract for what they will be working off of here on this facilities agreement is $400,596.51. And what they would do, they'll draw off of that money as the trail segments of the trail is completed. And so what will happen at that point is, once the trail has been completed, we're providing a 1-year plan within this developer's agreement to finish the plan. If for whatever reason they need to extend that, they can come to council and request an extension on that. Any fees that are remaining will remain in the city's park fund as well, to be used elsewhere within the parks, within the city's park fund. This is a general contract that has all your general language within this, with indemnity clauses, insurance requirements, and also the easements needed. Let me go back, actually, and show you there are 4 properties along here, along McDonald Road, that have provided some easements in order to be able to put the trail plan in. And so with that, what staff is requesting is that council come forward to be able to approve this, knowing that staff is still working through and refining the agreement, and to allow the city manager to be able to execute, or I'm sorry, it would actually be the mayor to execute the agreement once staff and legal have tied some of these things down. With that, I'm available for any questions that you may have.
No need for the mayor to execute. Mr. Alexander could easily do that if that's the recommendation. All right, very good. Any questions from council? The floor is open.
David, I think maybe the only thing I'd like to see is a not-to-exceed number. I see that the projections versus the amount of dollars that we have in is pretty thin. I think there's maybe only a $9,000 difference between both, and I'd like to see a not-to-exceed put in there once you all tighten it up, a little bit more, right? Let's just make sure that the dollars we have are the dollars that it's going to take to do that, because then it takes away from something else.
Yes, sir.
Marie?
So the way the agreement is written is if the costs to exceed, or to build the trail exceed the developer's costs, then that they are already owed to the city, then the city will pay the difference to complete the trail.
Right.
So,
I mean, we can set it up to be a not-to-exceed amount, but what they're saying is, we may be back here having a conversation about, they may say, well, what happens if it goes over that amount?
Gotcha.
And so I understand the concept of not to exceed, but you know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah, I understand. I understand, Steve.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks, Marie, for that.
sure.
No further questions, Mr.
Okay.
Mayor?
Any other questions for staff? None? Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the chair will open the floor to entertain a motion.
I'd like to motion to approve the facilities agreement for the McDonald Road Trail, subject to final legal review, and authorize the city manager to execute same.
Very well, good.
I'll
Got me
second.
out of that. I like it. All right, Councilman Dodson's made a motion. Motion's on the floor, standing. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Oh, fighting for the second. Councilwoman Thorogood gets it.
I said it 2 minutes ago.
All right, if there's no further discussion, the motion moves. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving into agenda item 6.e, presentation and discussion regarding the recovery of cost related to fire-related emergency services. Chief Siri.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For your consideration tonight, have the exploration of a potential agreement with a company called Emergifier. This was brought to me, and as costs continue to rise within public safety, we're always exploring methods to recover some of those costs to help us out on that. What Emergifier does, they're an insurance billing company, so on particular insurance, particular responses that we have, as you can see those down there, limited to specific like motor vehicle accidents, car fires, structure fires, fire investigations, illegal burns, calls of that nature that require an insurance claim, that we would submit that report through them, and they would attempt to recover costs from the insurance company. A little bit about Emergifier that I've learned. They represent 89 fire departments across the state of Texas, with one being here in Rockwall County. Several larger fire departments are utilizing them, and they're also not the only company that does this type of billing. Moving into some financial outlook, they're estimating the potential revenue from this type of system, and comparable programs would be an estimated recovery of approximately $20,000 to $30,000 annually. They operate off a contingency model, so it's limited to 18% commission applied only to successful recovered reimbursements. Let me go back and just say that I'm told that these insurance availabilities through these companies are already carved out in these policies, and they're available. They just often go and are utilized. It's not a common practice. So there's no physical risk to the city, no upfront implementation costs or ongoing fees, and the potential revenue, it's a variable factor. So depending on the types of calls we run throughout the year or the incident types, those may change. And also if it's eligible for an insurance claim. One thing that looking at this that I kind of wanted to make sure, as it was brought to me, was a primary goal is to make sure there's not a real a significant impact or direct financial impact to our residents or our visitors. So these claims are submitted strictly to the insurance carriers rather than the individuals. If the claim is denied by the insurance company, it's totally written off at that point. The city or Emergifier would never engage in direct billing or collections against individuals, not anything like that. And if they did tell me that in rare cases, sometimes an insurance company may not cover the bill, and they may submit that to a citizen or a visitor that had this type of incident. But if they were to contact the department or the billing company, they would tell them that we can't accept a payment, it's for the insurance only. Then it would be written off. Some oversight, just an integration. It integrates already with our existing CAD system, so they're able to get those reports. They manage all administrative functions, so it's no increased duties upon our staff that we already have. And to ensure transparency, the city would receive a detailed monthly financial report on the 5th day of each month. I'm sorry. Here's some sample mitigation rates of things that what would be able to bill for. Now, this is also fully customizable, so the city could elect to not do bill for some of these particular things, or the city could elect to bill the insurance company on certain things. So motor vehicle accidents, this is not your fender benders or anything like that. This is when actual fire response has to take place and the fire apparatus does some type of activity. Minor on level 1. Level 2 would be that they had to take some kind of rescue measure, or they had to clean up some kind of fuel or leaking spill. Level 3 would be vehicle fires, and then level 4 would be an electric vehicle fire, just including the cost of a blanket. Fires billed to the insurance company at the rates you see there, and then particularly gas leaks. This is kind of how it's brought to my attention. We've experienced a lot of gas leaks within the community with construction going on, and we're having to sit out there for hours at a time with our apparatus when these construction workers hit these gas lines and things. That's all that I have for this. Again, this was brought to me. I'm glad to take it forward if we want. This is something that we want to do to move forward, or we can leave it as is.
Very good. Thank you. That covered some of my immediate questions that I had.
Yes,
so, council, at this time, the floor is open for any questions for the chief.
Not a question, more of a comment.
Okay.
I've been familiar with these types of business models for roughly 20 years. very, very underutilized. Glad to see we're making steps because it's just money on the table from my perspective.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's a great thing.
Yes, sir.
It's good feedback.
Yeah. I have
Any
a
other
question.
questions?
Yeah.
Councilwoman
You mentioned
Thurgood?
that the city of Rockwall has been utilizing this?
No,
Or
not the city of Rockwall, just one city within Rockwall County, and that's Fate.
Interesting. How long have they been?
I believe a couple of years, I'm not sure exactly, but at least a couple of years.
Do you know how much, how worthwhile? I mean, I assume we pay a premium just like any insurance, right?
Mhm.
And then you recover costs that you would otherwise not have to pay. I'm just curious how cost-effective, beneficial it is.
So for the city, there's no upfront costs to implement this at all. There's no fees or anything. They only work on contingency base. So if we have a motor vehicle accident that, like I say, we'll take a level 1 and we say, hey, we had to respond out there and it was a major accident where they had to be treated, et cetera. They would the insurance company would then be sent a bill for $600, a little over $600. If the insurance company paid that, then the company would take their 18% cut of that fee, and then the city would be direct deposited the rest of it.
So it's the customer's insurance that gets billed?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So all this is net incremental?
Yes, and what I'm told is these funds are already, again, available. The insurance companies are prepared to pay these funds associated with these, and it's a minor cost too associated with insurance claims when you're talking about a vehicle accident. It could be $10,000, $20,000 for a $600 claim. So these funds are available, what I'm told, by the company already.
Yeah, let me clarify that a little bit. Most all of your insurance policies, auto and home, have what they call a fire department charge, and it is a set amount in most of all your insurance policies. Now, they are different, but they do allow for that, and it is a separate coverage that would apply. Like you're saying,
Yes,
they
sir.
would just bill them. So
Yes, sir.
they may bill $2,000, but they may only have a $1,500 coverage.
Yes,
but
sir.
they would cover the $1,500 minus their fee of 18%.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
Yes, then they would send us the remaining balance.
Yeah, and I would add to that the customers or the person that was in the wreck will never see that invoice, never even know that
No.
it was charged or
Exactly
paid
right.
unless that particular insurance company has an internal policy that they do send it to the policyholder. That would be the only, and
Yes,
I
sir.
wouldn't have any idea what percentage of
And they-
folks do that, but
Yes, sir.
most of these people won't even ever know it happened.
Yes, sir. And like they shared with me, they said on rare occasions, they do send a bill for particular insurance companies when they decline to pay it. And they say, well, we've got this bill on your behalf. And so that's when it triggered. We would provide them documentation to, hey, this bill's been written off, and so would the emergent fire.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And Chief, you're looking for direction as you guys would then go potentially
Yes.
implement an ordinance
Yes, sir.
to bring back forth in front of the council?
Yes, sir. So
Very
before we dove into the program, we would have to update a fee schedule for those,
Sure.
and then an ordinance.
You're trying to
enact.
see where
I
the
wanted to-
council lands as far
Yeah.
as direction?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any other questions for the chief?
Just one comment.
Councilman Dodson?
Chief, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you and congratulations to your group on chasing down and apprehending the criminals that were breaking into homes in the city of Heath.
Well, thank you very much.
That
I'm very
is-
proud of their efforts.
That's absolutely terrific, using all of the assets at your disposal.
Yes,
So,
sir. It's a perfect example of what agency coordination and tools and technology can help us do.
You used everything but the ladder truck, so
Yes, sir.
good for you.
Wait a second, he didn't say he didn't use it. Captain Ron? You guys took out the ladder truck to go find the gun. All right, very good. Hey, I believe I can speak on behalf of the council. I think the direction is to move forward. I think it's a great presentation. And thank you again, additional brain trust here at the dais for giving direction. I very much appreciate your work. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Chief.
I'll have it
All
back
right.
shortly.
At this time, we will move into 6.f, presentation and discussion on the financial and investment report for the month ended March 31st, 2026. Mr. Ayers.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor and Council. I present to you the mid-year financial report. We're 50% through the fiscal year, and this is just a financial snapshot of the funds within this period. Right here, we have the general fund revenue analysis. This is all your general fund revenues. At the very top, you have your property taxes and sales tax. Those are your largest revenues in the general fund. Right now, year to date, we're at 98.1% the property taxes, sales tax is trending above projections at 111.4%. Year-to-date, as of year-to-date, on revenues, we've collected 73.2% of the total budget, and in comparison to last year, we're at 79.5%. So,
Is there any seasonality in there, or are we just running hot?
can you repeat that?
The trend on sales tax.
Yeah, we're trending high right now.
Okay.
Is this particular chart in our packet?
Yeah.
There's break, I see a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just-
they're
I
all-
can't,
Oh,
I
it's
can't-
in there.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
in
is.
there.
It's like on page 42 of your,
Next slide.
Yeah.
the previous slide.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
it's in
page
there.
right before that.
Yeah, it's right after the scheduled revenues and it's.
41
it's-
was what he was representing.
Yeah, right after.
Okay, so it's just formatted differently. I can see it now. Yeah, I can't, because I can't read that at all.
You got 41. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So-
different in it. Got it.
Okay.
Well, he's got call outs in the bottom, so then that way you've kind of got breakdowns of each section.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the sales tax breakdown. This is on page 42, this graph. This is your sales tax collection through March. Collections for January was 165,000, 207,000 in February, and 133,000 in March.
so the question earlier, so we're just, each month is up, you know, so we are running hot right now
Yeah.
with regards to sales tax.
Gotcha. Understood. Thank you.
This is the expense breakdown for each department. Right now,
If I may, Michelle Alexander, I would recommend, as you guys look into this, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit prior, but I would look at what is driving that, right? If you've got some leading indicators, I know that you guys have some exposure to some of that, so, very good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
this is your expense breakdown for each department. Right now, total expenses for every department is at 44%. In comparison to last year, roughly, approximately almost the same at 43%. And so right now, everything is looking good so far, with us sitting 50% through the fiscal year. This is your utility fund revenue analysis. Looking at the year-to-date, as of March 2026, the actual versus projections, everything, pretty much all those categories are in the green, so we're running pretty good right now in the utility fund. We're at 106.3% total in revenues versus projections. Year-to-date, for utility revenues, the actual versus budget, we're at 44.2%. We've collected 9.7 million total so far through this fiscal year, versus our budget at 22 million. And in comparison to last year, we're at 47%. This is your water charges breakdown. Just at January, we collected 548,000 in water revenue. February it was 498,000, and in March it was 500,000. So we're trending above the trend line on the budget projections.
That's because I used too much water during the winter averaging. Should have got you to come check for a leak. Pretty sure it's teenagers and an irrigation system that didn't turn off. But yeah, you're welcome. We're looking great. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I get to live with that for the rest of the year. I had that epiphany in February, and I was like, oh, no. So yes, those of you at home, think about winter averaging before the winter.
Yeah. And this is your expense breakdown by department through March 2026. Total expenses at 44% of the budget. Spending 9.5 million. The annual budget's at 21.5 million. In comparison to last year, we were at 49%. So we're trending a lot better than we did last fiscal year. This is your fund balance summary. At the very top, you have your operating funds, a total at $27.8 million. The general debt service at 1.1. All your bond capital project funds are at 41.8 million. Your internal service funds, general capital replacement and utility equipment replacement is at roughly 888,000. And your special purpose funds are at 1.5 million. The total of all fund balances data is at 73,299,000. And this is your investment report summary. This is on the first page of the investment report. In comparison to the last quarter, went from 81.7 million to 72.5 million in total assets. The portfolio for this quarter was at 3.7%. In comparison to the rolling 3-month treasury, it was at 3.69%. 6 months treasury at 3.64%, and taxable and tax star roughly 3.68%. The fiscal year to date average yield for our portfolio is 3.79%, which is pretty good in comparison to the other benchmarks. Total interest income for this quarter is $665,762. Fiscal year to date interest income is $1.451 million.
You can see the drawdown in the reserves, and that's happening as a result of us, at council's direction, to be aggressive on capital projects, get road projects, roads repaired, road projects underway, building projects underway, and so you're seeing a result of that in the drawdown of fund balance here, out in the portfolio, which you saw it also on the other slide, under your capital fund, as that money is being expended and those projects are being built.
And that sums up my presentation. If y'all have any questions, I'll answer them for you.
No, yet again, great job. Very excited to see these monthly reports and getting this cadence and this level of transparency in our finances. It's great for the council, but also great for the residents to see this. So keep it up. It's great work. And good job on seeing where things are landing with projections. Couple of items in the general fund to work through. But it is good to see that you're picking up where you're down in sales tax revenue that's coming in. So again, just looking for that leading indicator. So then that way we kind of have that barometer of understanding what's driving that, so we don't get caught with any surprises. But again, it looks like you're going to be coming really, really close, depending on how the rest of the year turns out. You're going to land probably right there, which is unique, with certain line items not producing. So,
exactly.
Good. All right, at this time, council, the floor is open for any questions or comments. Councilman Omby?
Yeah, just a quick request. If we could indicate on the water usage, bracket or indicate what months are those that are being averaged for?
Okay.
Just so that people kind of see.
Good idea.
Yeah, November, December, January, February?
Just a bracket on either side, maybe just so you know,
And
these are the months.
And I too would echo that as we get closer to those winter months, an education piece, social media and/or, right? Just making sure that people understand, because that is a big question that people do ask. Hey, why is my sewer bill where it's at? I mean, we're not flushing our toilet. What are you doing, right? Very, very typical question.
There are some communities that have even no water period during that time.
Yeah.
I don't think that we need to impose anything that severe, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah, because even with mine, I didn't turn my irrigation off, but I was only doing twice a week, and I didn't even think about that.
Right.
That winter averaging. But if I would have thought about it as a mayor, I would have turned it off.
Right.
And at least got 2 good months out of that, so I can offset my average. So, and I'm pretty close to the information, and it didn't cross my mind. So maybe a little bit of a PR push, educational. I think that'd be great. Any other questions or comments for staff?
Maybe just one question here on the
Councilman Mormon?
engineering.
Yes, sir.
The engineering line item is really low. Is that artificial?
Yeah, that role hasn't been filled yet. We're still, I think it's still being advertised.
Got it.
And right now, we're just charging professional services to,
Thank you.
Good question. Very good. Any other questions? If there are no further questions, then at this time, this meeting is adjourned at 8:04. Thank you, council. Congratulations, and thank you all.